One is here, and I don't run away. We don't run away from our problems, okay? We sit our butt on them. Go here, and I'm heavy on my big toe. Try and heel hook me.
Tough.
It's tough. I pop my knee out by sitting on his butt. Then I can follow through.
All right, you guys. Hey, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. And right next to that, thanks for Jared for bringing his knowledge to us once again. I think we're gonna, get on a schedule here. Just maybe like a two-parter, three-parter. We can do this as many times as we want to. So we invite you any and every time you're available. But Jiu-Jitsu black belt, MMA staple in the Jiu-Jitsu community. You guys, he's here. Make him feel welcome, and then also, ask your questions, all right? So thanks for being here.
Thanks everybody for showing up. So I designed this seminar because I'm seeing some people in Jiu-Jitsu and in MMA losing to leg locks. And if you don't know, I win about 90-ish% of my wins are submission, and about 75% of those are leg locks, just because I'm exploiting the fact that it's a very complex game. There's a lot to know. But the cool thing is I've actually helped some MMA fighters just in a couple lessons defend leg locks. So they can actually go out to their match and show who's the better fighter and not just be getting murked by people like me that just been studying the dark arts all these years. It takes a lot less time to actually learn how to defend these things. And we're going to build up your confidence. Hopefully by the end of this seminar or the second one, like Victor said, we'll probably do at least a two-parter on this called Leg Locks Don't Work Part 1, Leg Locks Don't Work Part 2. And in just a few lessons, honestly, your confidence is going to go way up. I'll teach you some drills you can do. We're going to drill at the end, and hopefully your confidence is much higher, and you're not just scared and panic tapping and not knowing where you're at. Most of it is just positional awareness. So we're going to start this time with what I call mainly the inside type positions, so things that generally result in an inside heel hook. And then my plan for right now for the second seminar is to do outside attacks, so your 411s, your outside ashi, which also has a lot of aoki locks, and then maybe circle back during that one and cover your toe holds, which are typically on the outside, and maybe even a little knee bars and some straight ankles, which again are typically on the outside. So today is going to be very heel hook heavy. But these are some of the most powerful spots you can be for a heel hook, the inside heel hook. It's a lot harder typically for people to finish an outside heel hook. It's a lot more technical, and I think potentially easier to defend that 411 situation, or excuse me, the outside ashi situation, and the single leg X situation once you really know those. So that's my plan for the second seminar, and for this first one, inside positions. I talked to Brad at my house last night, and we actually reoriented what we're teaching here. So we're actually reoriented around half of the seminar today is going to be, of the instruction part, is going to be denying entries. So we're going to go over some of the common entries to the inside positions and learn how to deny them. It's literally very basic. Like if your hand fighting is on point, if your head level is on point, if you're in the right position, you shouldn't be getting heel hooked. You shouldn't be getting entered into the heel hooks. And that's what I'm telling people. They'll say, hey, come break down my footage. Here's me getting heel hooked. Okay, I need to learn how to get out of a heel hook, or I need to learn how to get out of a straight ankle. And I'm like, yeah, but you're in the heel hook position, right? We need to be not in there, and you need to be in a match getting entered in on your legs 0 times would be your preference. But then in the second half of the instruction will be getting out in those bad spots, which you do get in there, because at some point you will find yourself there, right? And then we're gonna break it up for at least 30 minutes at the end, and we're gonna have some good fun, and we're going to get into the double trouble or saddle position and the 50-50 position, and we're gonna rotate through like we've done here before and have some fun, and hopefully by then you're feeling confident, you're feeling good in the position, all right? I got Brad here helping me today. Brad, not a lot of people necessarily know him in the jiu-jitsu community, but Brad's a stud. He's the best white belt in the jiu-jitsu community, I'm pretty safe to say, because he doesn't get belted. He almost never, do you put the gi on ever? He almost never puts the gi on. But Brad, actually, what he's done is he's helped me go out and compete at really high levels and win matches in the 50-50 position a lot. In the 50-50 position we've worked. But with all the heel hooks, the outside heel hooks, the inside heel hooks, the knee bars, Brad has always helped me bounce around ideas. He's always staying up on the state-of-the-art technology for leg locks, so he helps me a lot with that as a drilling partner. First thing we're going to do, we're going to break up the denying the entry component into 3. Okay, it's actually, you're going to be entered from the person on top entering into your legs, or we'll be standing and I'll try and enter in on the legs, or I'll be on my butt on the ground trying to enter in on your legs. So we're going to break the entries into those pieces, and then we have 4 positions that we're going to defend: 411, Philly saddle, double trouble, and 50-50, good old 50-50 right at the end, okay? Give you some surefire ways of feeling safe there. Brad, let's get it kicked off. This first one, I always like to start with this one because it's such a common and simple entry. Say I'm doing a knee cut. Boom. I just got a knee cut pass going. Personally, I like to stay in the knee cut and keep it stapled as I start to advance in position. I don't rush it and pass right away. When I pass right away, his hips are now mobile. So I actually like to stay and keep him stapled for a long time while I upgrade my position a lot. I might even take a double staple right into mount, right into pinning the arm up so we can get a good spot. Okay, I want to try and really win, and you'll see a lot today is about winning those upper body connections. So when I'm up here, either with the underhook, if I have the underhook, as Brad knows, I don't like to just run back to the legs like I used to. I like to just keep passing. Brad goes, "Why are you teaching leg lock seminar? You don't do leg locks anymore." I'm like, that's why I'm giving away all my secrets. Because I'm trying to play more and more positionally and just actually score some points, which has been like a problem for me. So I'm up here. If I have the underhook, I can backstep, boom. But a lot of times, this is actually necessary to bail me out if he gets an underhook. So if he pummels on me, I'm actually about to get my back taken. But you'll notice one thing. I keep this C-grip on this wrist, and if I keep a straight arm and keep a C-grip, normally he'd rotate to get out of a grip, rotate to the thumb, right, we get out. But what I can do, because I have the mat and I have this straight arm here, I can extend and push that away, try and get that arm back, try and pummel that out. So I can keep a really good handle here. Now, he's beating me here, but the funny thing is if he starts to try and take my back, his left knee, yeah, that's stapled, but if he goes to take my back, his left knee's gonna start to come in. Boom, right to here. And I collect, and I'm on both knees. Here, okay? I'm on both knees. So this is the first entry. It could have been from an underhook, but from an overhook, you almost have to do it. You could actually re-pummel because you got this position and come back and go back to your pass, okay? If I'm up here, I can now keep it stapled here, dive this hand through, and attack that heel hook on Brad. Or, for even better control, I can stay up here and grab both double overhand grip and bring him into what's called the double trouble. I'll be calling this double trouble, okay? I'll be calling this 411. I'll be calling this double trouble. There's probably at least 3-4 names for every last one of these, so that's what I'll be calling it. So the idea is to teach you a little bit about the entry, but I don't have all the time in the world to teach you guys every detailed entry. It's just getting some of the naming and positional understanding right. There's going to be 9 entries, so we got to kind of pace ourselves here on perfecting the entry. What I want you to do is I want you to deny this entry. So what's one thing he can do to deny this entry? So you can practice the entry first, and then if I step back, he's going to open his knee. That's it. Even if I have an underhook here, and then I go to back step, he just opens. All you have to do, even if I pin the leg down like this first, that some people do, but if I go to shoot it all the way back, he can just open. Oh no. Very nice, very nice. So that's the first one that we're gonna work on. I'm gonna break these 9 up into hyper short little things because some of these ways to deny it is literally head position, hand pummel. So we're gonna break all these 9 up into just one little thing, and it's just gonna be a few minutes of you practicing it. It's gonna be here. He may have earned the underhook, and if I'm tight, he may earn it with his elbow first. See how he uses his elbow? I can't just pummel this, so I actually, if I was pummeling it, I would use my elbow to lead the way. I would turn my back a little bit. But when I go to step back, he's just gonna open. So practice that a few times, and the other thing to practice is actually getting it. See how it just gets denied immediately. Actually getting it. And if you want, you can rock back to a double treble. More and more for me lately, I stay on top because I actually pin him down. Then I have the option of diving, or I have the option of just separating with my head and pinning. And actually on the poster, this is the exact thing. If you saw the poster I made, this is the exact position right here. Because I'm trying to pin people down. Cool? Any questions or comments? Kind of simple. Every defense and denying the legs is actually crazy simple. Open your leg. Be aware. Awareness will get you out of these morning. Okay? Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. So I want to cover 2 more things with this style of entry. So I'm actually, let's say I was attacking a straight ankle here. If I start to break this down, maybe I'm even here, I could backstep this. And this could even happen from a bottom position. I could be backstepping this one. So I'm going to demonstrate it like this. And then as you can see, this is really similar to this. Okay? So I could be right here, and I could be starting to plant this down, really attacking this. And if I plant on my head, I can actually come back for this right into double trouble. Okay? We're in the exact same spot we were. So I could sit back with this one, or I could stay up here and pin like I was talking about, potentially separate the feet, bend this one, and attack that. Okay?
So are we skipping going for the underhook with this one, and you're just going straight for the leg?
Yeah, because I'm up here, and this is kind of a defense note too. One way he can get out is rotate the heel, so yep, that way, and just do a. So that's a leg lock defense too. So I'll have you practice that.
This comes from, you'll get people that will do this, right? It's like as soon as you put your feet on it, right? That's where you have your issues. And that's when we start to get into, you'll straighten it up, rotate, try and, right? So try and get out. So when it comes down, when it sits into it, right? And, okay, there's no, yeah, that's where you caught. Right there. That's the catch.
Same double trouble, different. It's a back step still, it's just different. Okay? So if I'm up here,
Or if my feet are down, he could just grab it.
I could grab it. I could maybe go for the knee cut. I'm going to be here. And even if I get a really good grab here, and we've seen some people get finished up here, but he's already turning his heel that way. And you can tell, even if I get a good grab, he just has to slip that off my ribs. He grabbed my leg to kind of help him slip through. Okay, so you'll see people do these standing straight ankles. What actually works really well, and I think Ricky Glenn uses this too quite a bit, the cross ankle, and he'll be running it here, but this one, you can't actually turn the heel as easily. And in fact, you don't want me to go this way and finish. So what'll happen is they'll start to turn that way, and I can put I don't just put this down and then let go, he'll replace. I put this down, then I put my body down. So look out and know, again, awareness. Know that if you're in a cross straight ankle, that's less common. Okay? Which even from the cross straight ankle, I could maybe enter a 411, or I could enter, if I'm up here, I could enter a 50-50, even from there. Okay? And that's kind of no different. That's kind of no different than if I just have it shelved. You guys ever have it shelved like this? I could be going 50-50 by bringing this leg through, or I could be going 411 by bringing that leg through. And sometimes even the 50-50 is a fast follow to maybe this leg's getting beat, he's pushing this one out. The 50-50 becomes a fast follow. So this is kind of a lot of material, but this is the last of the top entries, okay? So it's actually a lot of material, I know, but it's an awareness thing. If he's here, it'll slip out. If I pin him down, he's not going to slip out. And if he sees me stepping back, he's just going to open the knee and not let that happen. The only thing I have left is maybe an outside thing, which I'd like to cover next time. But he just has to push this foot off, eject, or go that way. Yeah. Boom, boom. Boom. So it's this whole concept of a straight ankle. When it's out here, it's on the outside, we can roll. If I pin him down, I could maybe start to beat this here, but really the more common is people to backstep this one. He's just got to open the knee again. And then maybe I'll go here, but he won't let it happen. So that's kind of what I want to see. Being able to roll here. One, okay? If you get pinned, don't get backstepped. And then if you get up here, don't let that happen either. And you can sit on that, or you can even potentially eject. So go ahead and go that way this time. Oh boy. Oh boy, I get armbarred though, maybe. I did also talk about the cross-side straight ankle. All we have to know there is, it's a little dilemma, a little trick, that he doesn't want to go this way, because typically I would finish by going this way. So most people naturally go that way. And now I'm going to pin him down, or he's going to turtle up. Maybe I could attack this next. But those high-low, 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 and comboing with straight ankle to backstep is the same as knee cut to backstep.
You just got to be aware. If you're someone's standing up, and I'm down here, and my feet are up, it's really easy for them to pick it up and put it in this spot. And you've only got 1, 2. I mean, he's finishing in 2 to 3 seconds. High level like him, if we're going, this is getting finished in 3 to 4 seconds. It's coming off. I have to be turning, making him move. Right? He's got to step to the next one. Okay, now I'm back. So if he picks, maybe it's something else.
Now maybe he comes high leg set over, and now maybe I'm back to here, which could also be a lot of material. That's why we got the camera. Hey, give it up to my beautiful wife, because we ran out of 2 videographers because had 2 videographers fall through, guys. But I got to get this on YouTube for you guys because TMI. It's a little bit TMI. But this is the concept for part number 2. It's basically just that. You pull it out. Boom. If I do successfully pin it, he can't let me get back. And if he even gets back and I can't get that, my last move is out here and you push it up in here. All right.
Who saw those 3 movements?
3 things. So first, outside straight ankle.
So as soon as this is grabbed, I got to rotate.
And then if I actually pin it down, don't let me backstep.
Is this backstep, when he gets to this position with this backstep, I mean, it is so hard to fight that. There's so many different finishes from here. And he's sitting on like, go ahead, backstep on again, Jerry. His weight is there. Like, I can't get him off of my legs. He can just sit here and take his time to break me. This is not the position you want to be in. This is like a 95% he's finishing. Right? So, there. I want to fight.
Now rotate. The only other one is really here. It's hard. He still would probably want to go here to not get straight ankled.
I have to.
But now you're gonna use that shoulder.
I'll just give it up.
That's really the 3.
Yep. Because if not, my leg is finished. Right? That's just coming off.
Absolutely. 1, 2, 3. I'm just want to see what you're doing. All right, this has been excellent, you guys, because we covered, like, it doesn't do me any good to just spam. I narrowed this way down, and then I know I'm still gonna like throw stuff out. What I want to cover now is literally just high level, put some stuff out there for you guys in terms of, these were all top entries. Okay, how do we defend standing entries and bottom entries? Is typically having good head position and winning your hand fights and not letting them out pummel you, and not letting, if I pull guard or if I roll into an Imanari, you don't let my head get so low below you and I'm on your legs. So even, this goes to the seated guard. Go ahead and get a good seated guard. This goes to the seated guard because if I just walk into a seated guard, it's a problem, right? But I actually treat him, I say this is what I say, I don't even know if it's politically correct, but I'm wrestling a midget now, okay? And so I'm not, I'm actually, what are we doing in wrestle? First line of defense. This keeps me out of all kinds of trouble. I'm like a hand-fighting Nazi, okay? Never letting the hand-fighting down. Because once he beats a hand fight, he's on a 2-on-1. He's on an underhook. Maybe he's on over. Maybe he's on my head, an arm fight. I never lose a hand fight, and that's how I try, especially at the higher levels. You lose a hand fight, then he's got a 2-on-1, you're getting cooked. If you lose a hand fight, even in a knee shield guard, and you start letting him have an arm clamp, you're getting cooked. So I don't lose any of that. And then when I approach a seated guard, I wrestle him. So it looks like this. Move around. Now he's gonna try and enter my legs or wrestle me up. I'll move back. I don't let a 2-on-1 happen. I strip the grips. It looks a little nasty. Okay, it's a little nasty. Left. I'm not like my heart rate's that high. I'm just continually active. Because if I let one grip go and it becomes 2, this is such a problem. It's such a problem now. On both the wrestle ups and the legs, which I told you they play off each other. Okay? So what I'm going to do is have Brad stand up. I am going to demo, for the sake of the film, how to not get into leg locks from standing or sitting, and it's all basically head position, head level, and hand fighting. Okay? So I'm going to spam techniques. It's going to increase your awareness, and hopefully we've already increased your guard play. And then we're going to take a short break. We're going to escape some surefire escapes out of some inside positions, and then we're going to get to have some fun and see how we can stay safe starting locked up in those inside positions, okay? One question I had over here was Imanari roll. So if you don't know, and I don't do it that much because it's not a huge efficacy at the higher levels. It's more like huge skill gap, or you're Ryan Hall and you're just freaking unbelievable because he did that to BJ Penn. But the problem with the Imanari is it happens, I can Imanari him from out here. I mean, I can't even throw a kick out here. I'm not even halfway to kicking distance. But I could lay my whole body out and run up an Imanari and enter a left. Okay? So what's he got to do? Literally, we're out here, let's say. I'm going to do an Imanari. He starts to just shut me down in all the ways he can. He's changing level. He's stuffing legs. He's basically hand fighting, but even though my legs are leading the way. Here, we could even do like a rolling back take from there. Dang. Dang. Another one is if I pull guard, is I can't let him just pull guard without me pulling. So you're going to stay high, and I'm going to pull you down. Then I'm going to start extending you. Okay, so if I pull guard, even if I'm pulling guard from up here, he's got to match me. He's got to match me. Okay? Now let's say we're in a seated position. Again, if we're in, let's just say a butterfly guard. I run this drill with people. We're going to play it right now. Actually, let's switch me positions. You go butterfly. Okay, and I tell people, I go, all you got to do is break my posture. So go ahead and break my posture. Just get me broken down. What am I doing? Yeah, now let me stop hand fighting and let him win a grip. Now break my posture. So play a drill, you know, not maybe today, but play a drill where you're here, he's in butterfly, and I don't lose posture because I don't lose a hand fight. Run. Run. And if he's in a butterfly, get to my butterfly, again, he has to lose the extension. Why is my hands here? He should be hand fighting me. But if they start to get, exactly. These are the gateway, this is the gateway drug to the armpits, guys, and the elbows. Once I start connecting, he doesn't want that, so he's gonna hand fight. But if I win a connection up there, even just a little armpit here and a leg here, I can start to set him up. And the only thing he had to do was hand fight. So I want the hand fighting to be like neurotic levels. Okay? Huge. Now go stand up again. So again, here he's matching head level and hand fighting, so I should never get to a good position on these legs. But if he was lazy, going to just stand up straight. If he was lazy, I could be wrestling up. Or I can move both legs to the outside, grab here. Let's say he's just facing me. He's not down. He's not hand fighting. I'm going to square up and take this leg. And I just go here. Okay? We don't have time to learn that. We'll take a whole seminar maybe. But the point is, I don't care if you know any of that. You don't lose the head position in the hand fight and don't treat me like a little midget wrestler.
Well, and
I'll hook you up.
As a leg guy, I'm looking for people to walk it. Like I could be sitting where Jared's at right now, just sitting on my ass doing nothing. And I'm looking at how you're going, how a wrestler's going to approach you, right? If the good guy is going to match me, he's going to be down, the stance going to be down, one leg is going to be back, so I can't feed into it. If I just walk up to him, I'm like, this is Christmas, baby. Look at these legs.
I got too many options. I'm like
yeah.
reeling
I
over
mean,
here.
he could wrestle up. He could drop me. But
Get
legs,
a guard going.
legs. If he gets 2 feet inside of my legs, I'm standing. It's an easy heel hook. All day long, he can take either one he wants. Yep. It's like, yep. So, but if I'm back,
I can't do it. And you don't even have to know leg locks.
yeah,
You wouldn't have to know a single leg lock. You could just be in the spot.
you just have to know not
And-
to walk up to someone.
And the last two I'll tell you is that you don't have to know leg locks for this. Go to a half guard. So again, if his knee is close to my butt, then I'll never, if I move out to get a butterfly hook, he moves it back in, that knee. But if he lets himself be lazy, and I get here, and he let himself be lazy to let my hand get here, and now this could be a heel hook, it could possibly be a knee bar, or if he decided to sit on his butt this way, we're back to this 411s, or this, I always do that single leg X stuff. Okay? I could even come back up, build back up, back step, go.
So many options.
And then the last one, because I told you this would be TMI, then we'll take a break, is again, head position and hand fighting from knee shield. He should have his hand fighting going. Otherwise, he's going to give access to stuff like this. Go back. Knee shield. Okay, I want you maybe even to invert this hand I like to do, but stay low. Stay low and hand fight me. How am I going to get on that leg? I don't even have to know jiu-jitsu. You ever had a wrestler that doesn't even know jiu-jitsu and you can't get in there? It's just their instinct to head match and hand fight. Literally, if you get a good seated guard, and if from top you know how to wrestle a midget, 99% of leg locks off the table for you.
Yeah.
So that's the last piece of the puzzle for not getting top entries, which we spent actual time on. But then I covered the standing and the bottom entries, which were literally all a factor of you knowing how to match my level in hand fight. Every single one of them. Yeah.
So can we just like dumb down the basics of hand fighting? Are you just like pummeling in kind of with your hand, like they have your grip, you
Well,
twist out and you're getting your hands back in?
That's a good question. So I would say if I'm up here, if he has a grip, that's a problem. like even one. Because one takes 1 second to become two. If I really lost the 2-on-1, go ahead and go 2-on-1, I could at least match his head level and make it harder. It's a lot harder for him to extend me from the cross. Okay? So when it's one, I'm here. If he's on my head, there, I'm just rotating. So go to like a, here, stand up. Just go to like a hand fight wrestling. We're gonna wrestle. I got it off my head. Look, I'm Mr. Miyagi in here. Okay? That's hand fighting on. Anything to say about hand fighting? It's Mr. Miyagi stuff? Is that okay?
I love it.
It's Gatson approved, you guys. Gatson approved hand
I
fighting.
like competition.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm always, it's Jared and I are in here. I'm always looking to get somewhere here because I want to push. I want to push and pull, right? Because
Yeah.
this gives me my drags, right? And I like to set lots of things up for you.
That's literally
I'm
like,
looking to always, I like top, me personally.
he's
right?
literally saying, we got C grips, we got inverted C grips. If you stand up real quick, an inverted C grip is so dangerous too, because the speed at which you can feed an underhook is ridiculous.
Yep.
But any hand fight is going to go up that chain, and it's going to be a problem immediately. So as soon as I grab that C grip, go ahead and get out. Yeah, the other hand, use the other hand. Good matches look like this a lot, don't they?
It's all hand fight. I mean,
I don't let that happen. I just got to get out because it'll get worse. It'll be a 2-on-1, be an underhook. So if you want to play the laziest jiu-jitsu possible, which trust me, I try. I try and do. I'm like 38 and some change now, so I'm like calories per minute is kind of a problem for me sometimes. So I'm literally, but I will never sleep on the. I'm like sweating a little bit.
Yeah.
I will never sleep on that hand fighting ever. That's how you lose. Over.
well,
Cool.
start, the
Question.
best conditions start from that, right? That's, when you lose that, you have to recover that position. You know, if it gets my arm, he's gonna toss me.
Yep.
So whether standing or on the ground. So it's that constant battle.
And from a head position standpoint, if he pulls guard, I'll match you. So it's just head levels and hands.
You're not
99%.
reaching too much either. You're kind of like,
And here, I'll reach when I have it. Like when I have that inverted C grip, then I'll reach because
Yeah.
I'm going to actually gain something. Or I'll reach for an arm clamp. If I'm not going to get anything and I just start, then he's gonna get me.
Yep.
I don't want it to work at all. 0 time on my wrist. I'm out and pummeling. And because that always becomes 2-on-1, or it becomes a Russian tie, or it becomes an overhook, under. All those are bad. Arm clamp, all bad.
Yep.
So that's when matches start ending. Yeah. Yeah. Now we get really to the fun part. Because I'm gonna have Brad lock me up in 411. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 411. We're gonna do 2 escapes that play off each other, and then we're going to. That last thing is it's gonna be 2 escapes that play off each other. Then it's gonna be a counter leg lock. We're gonna learn how to escape that counter leg lock, and then we're gonna get into the double trouble where he has my other leg. And this one, I just need to get that leg free, and then it's the same as the 411. So literally, after you learn this 411 and this counter, it's like all rolling off this same sequence. It's not gonna be totally opposite of the first half of the seminar where it was smattering of all kinds of things, because I've never taught just staying out of leg locks as its own concept. I'm trying to refine that still. Like I'm trying to condense and refine that as hard as I can. But that's honestly the game right there. Is I spend about 0 matches in this position because I do the hand fighting. I do the head position. I stay low, whatever I need to do. So, and of course, that's why you counter, just strategically real quick, that's why you counter upper body and lower body attacks. Because once I get going all low and just trying to hand fight and trying to stay out of legs, I try and overload people's brain with thinking about legs, and they're staying low on me, and then I snap them into a guillotine or pull up an armbar. So those high-low combos, those become lethal. Okay. So for this one, it's actually really quite simple. It's called the running man. Okay. Anybody ever done this escape, running man? All right. Brand new. That's perfect. I love teaching this. So you notice that if I'm this way, he's going to hook me up with a heel hook, right? So my first order of business, going to release the heel hook there, boom, is to bury that down and get heavy on my big toe. I'm going to grab his leg here, and then I'm going to do like a standing base. Here, push into him. This is a problem. I won't name names, but we've seen people that are in this, and they actually just try and run away. Now my leg's even more exposed than ever. I'm just trying to run away. He's good. I actually need to sit on him. That's going to win the knee line here. So the knee line means my knee's not captured in there. A heel hook attacks the knee, ultimately, right? So I'm going to be out. So one more time. He's got me hooked up here. He could be in the kind of prayer foot stack position. He could have this one under here, or he could even have this one back behind over here, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to base in a way that I'm pushing into him until my knee pops out. So I turn to where he can't heel hook me, and I stand in base, I push this leg down, pop my knee out by sitting on him. Now I've actually got his hips pegged. Now I can actually start to move on and advance on him. So the first one is the running man. And another one that I love to do, so it's funny because if I actually turn my leg this way, I could escape as well. Only if I get a post going. I call this one ejecting. So I'm going to post here. Okay, go ahead and start going for leg lock. The ejection. The risk is if I do this and I push out and I didn't get out, either he got that or go back, I'm actually turning my heel and exposing it to get out this way. Because what it looks like is turning my heel that way to expose it. Okay? So we're going to practice all in one break so that we get a nice long drilling session in. Number one is here, and I don't run away. We don't run away from our problems, okay? We sit our butt on them. Go here, and I'm heavy on my big toe. Try and heel hook me.
Tough.
It's tough. I pop my knee out by sitting on his butt. Then I can follow through. And sometimes you combo them in such a way that I started getting a little bit of space here, but I just feel really tough and stuck, and I can come back and hit the ejection. So we can combo these. Or say I started doing an ejection, and I was like, that's not working. Try a running man. I'm almost there. I come back to an ejection. So it's super simple. Eject running man. One variation of the ejection. If I get him here, that's an ejection. But if I get underneath it, I'm like doing a counter leg lock. Here or here. This is called Philly saddle. I don't know why. I don't have the history on that one. And it can actually be an outside, or I can move it across. I just sat my body, anytime I sit my body down, I can switch heel hooks. And that's from like almost any position. If I take the leg, move my body down, I can come back up. If I am inside, I want to go outside, go there. So once again, he's here. Look at that, reverse C grip. Here, that gives me the power. I'm heavy on my big toe. If I'm not heavy on my big toe and it's just dangling, he's going to be able to still sit through and heel hook that. Oh boy. So I want my big toe heavy. See, that's planted. Here. Alternatively, boom. And now I actually expose the heel and straighten. Even if he goes to pull it back in, if I have this post here, go ahead and pull it back into a heel hook. He's not going to pull it back in. Lost. And then the counter is, instead of going to the ejection, I could slip, and then just like when we did double trouble, Cross my feet. Otherwise, we're just kind of playing a game. Cross my feet. He's stuck big time now. Go ahead and move around a little bit, Brian. It's like I have both feet like a double trouble, but 2 hands. So that's a nasty one right there. Okay? The old Philly saddle. Is there any questions on running man, ejection, Philly saddle? Yeah.
How did you get into that position?
The entries we just drew in. So
That's the back step.
back step could you
Okay,
end?
'cause it just looks a little different than like how we ended. So like, at what point did you kind of free a leg, or?
You can do an entry if you want. Would have been back step.
Yep.
Boom.
Okay. You're just not scooping that like other leg.
Yeah, it's literally, so that I call double trouble.
Yep.
And even if, and this is kind of cool too, I'm going to show this from double trouble. If I can pull this straight through, make some space and get this out, it's 411.
Okay.
Running man, ejection, Philly saddle.
So we're starting at 411.
Yep, we're just starting in 411. So it's literally just not the double trouble, it's cousin where he didn't have my foot.
Okay.
This can be locked up here. I like this.
I like that one.
You can try and put it in, or this can come around the back of the thigh. So you get
Just trying to
that.
expose the heel. I just go heavy. Shoot him down. Now try and heel hook me. Running in. Questions? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the difference between double trouble and 411 is just that he has my other leg. So that's kind of a pain in the butt, right? I can start to grab at him. This way I can keep him from extending. I'm also putting the boot on, so my heel is going forward and my toes are coming back so that he doesn't just straight ankle me here. Okay? Oh, ouch. So I put it in his armpit. I can even turn my toes to the outside a bit, and I hammer that foot in there and I straighten it out. So now try and straight ankle that leg. We're good, okay? I can start to build and grab elbow. You can grab the elbow, start to pull it forward. I even like to come to the wrist. So I'm on both sides of this grip and I'm starting to open it up. Once it's opened up, I get here. Once that foot's out, what is this now? 411. So I can do Philly saddle, ejection, or running man. Okay, so that's all it is. If I just want to do an ejection here, ejection. Now it's just 411, so it all maps right to the other one. Here, I can control him here. This keeps him from going too far back where I can't even grab his arms. I can even come here, here, here. I'm trying to climb this man until I can start to get that elbow. That's really going to be the key. Okay, so I can hook here. He's starting to extend back. I hook, I start to pull him in. I'm hooking, but my toes are always curling back. So this muscle right here, you can see it's very flexed. Okay, my toes are pulling back. Once I get to the elbow, that's when I'm good. I've got the elbow in the wrist. He's trying to hold on to it tight. There. Go heavy with this. Boom. Boom, boom. That is it. That is it. Other piece I wanted to demonstrate was, I'm gonna get you here. Okay, now you take this and Philly saddle me. Same thing. I keep those toes, I put those toes way to the outside and straighten this leg. Philly saddle, okay? Now, my other leg's stuck, but what I can do is, at the toes, and even at the heel, I unwind. Okay? If I start to unwind this, I can start to get my arm, or my leg back. Here. Now I'm back where I was. So it's literally a game of, he pummels under to Philly saddle, he's there. I really got to go like this. Try and heel hook me, and you can try this with your partner. I keep my foot on him, my toes. Yeah, going heel hook and heel hook. Heel hook, really go for it. You're just trying to BS with me. Yeah. I'm good. If he passes it to the inside, I can hand fight over here because it's close. Have to hand fight now. As on this one, I'm on his wrist too. Kind of see over here, I'm on his wrist. Okay. Once I do that, I put it back to the outside and straighten. Now he's attacking on the outside. Right? He's attacking on the outside. I keep it nice and straight. I unwind. Now I'm back where I was. Maybe I can even come back. No, I'm exactly back where I was. I'm back on offense. Okay? Philly saddle. Here, if he goes inside with it, I hand fight right away. That's all I got left. But if I'm grabbing his wrist over here, go ahead and heel hook me over here. Nope, you can't. Start to push this off. Push that off. I'm good. Literally just unwinding. Okay?
So because we're also working on like preventing getting into the position in the first place, how would you then recommend that we like knee fight or kind of prevent guard passing without having our ankles up too high?
Yeah, really good question. I mean, one thing I would say is go ahead and stand up. So if I have Brad up here, I shouldn't, unless you're a very high level guard player and you're really trying to play some goofy games, I shouldn't be here. But what people typically do is they self-frame, or they even, you might have seen this, because I'm getting a lot of pressure here. So I'm trying to win some pummels here. So he goes and snatch my foot up, and it's actually not even happening. So if you're playing a supine guard, you're telling me you're either amazing at guard work or you don't know what you're doing, because I should be not only seated, but I should be able to create pressure. So he's trying to knock me over to supine. I should be able, if I can't create wrestle up pressure in a good pyramid kind of shape here, boom. If I'm not in that good shape and hand fighting, he's not going to get there. So I should have my weapons, and you'll notice a lot of defense is literally hand fighting.
See his feet position, right? So a lot of times, you'll see people this out here with them, just floating here, just playing a butter guy, and someone's walking up to him. This is so easy for me to pick up and take it, right? So your feet, I'm always looking to get my feet in, one hidden, one out, so I can attack. Never just gonna sit there with my feet wide open in a guard on someone's head. Right?
And I feel like strategically, I should be so strong in my seated guard that I can wrestle up. Because if I can't create pressure on this line, I'm not going to be able to create pulls this way. If I can't push and pull, I'm literally conceding, and this is what I don't want your guard. It's not a catcher's mitt just trying to catch people, because you'll eventually lose. I have to actually have a guard. Go ahead and move around a little bit, or I can hand fight. I can maybe wrestle up. And then once he gets extended, then I can do some pulls. So the push-pull on the seated guard, huge, and a good question. If you're in supine guard, shouldn't really be there unless you have an actual butterflies, something legitimate.
You should not
Maybe
be,
Eva.
you should not, where his legs are, and that shouldn't happen. Right? I should not be able to walk up to you and both your legs there. If you are, they need to get inside. Right, with hooks. See how his legs are hooked now? They're tight.
I can lay down here.
Much different than just legs floating.
If you're laying down with no guard, that's kind of a problem.
There's just so many different entries.
Yeah.
They have to be. Seated guard should be in attacking position.
And even if my head is too far back, that's a problem. He can pluck there, or he can just give me a push. So this is my head too far back. Now my head's going to be, you'll notice there's almost a triangle, and there's a straight, strong back, like I'm deadlifting my butt. In fact, as he starts to win here, I move my butt back. I don't put my head like this. If he starts to win ground on this way, gotta be aggressive in your seated guard. That's a whole seminar literally I've done. It's just like being aggressive in your seated guard.
And I think the point he's trying to make is with this, you're seeing a lot of people in tournaments and high levels getting that leg caught. Guys are finishing, right? So if you can get to the habit of rotating you know, if someone picks your leg up, right? So it's gone. It's in the position, right? But it's just recognizing what's coming and not doing this,
Yep.
right? Because a lot of you'll see people do.
I can do this.
You can do this because they're inside, they're hidden. But if they're out, if I'm walking up and these are floating, these are so easy to pick off. I'm just,
That side, that cross straight ankle, like I said, that's hard to deal with because I don't want him to go here and finish a straight ankle. And anything I do this way, he's going to put one hand on the knee and pass.
what we don't want you to do is just freeze, right? I don't want you just to freeze here because now I can finish it. But if you start to rotate with it, at least the legs, right? That's what we want to do. Is we want to stop the leg lock.
And then
You get to a worse position.
anytime my guard's beating that bad, I got to be on my shoulder.
Yep.
So if you're beating me too far this way, I got to be framing on the shoulder. That's the guard retention you do every time. If I get beat on this side, that's how I high leg over off my shoulder. Now we're way too much information.
Sorry.
Do we got? No, it's good though. Like honestly, I made a little notebook. I wanted to hear what you guys have for questions though, because forget the notebook. I
But
wanted
it's
to
a
see what you
good
guys
question, and the point is, don't leave your feet hanging out like that, right? When someone's standing above you, your feet should be somewhat protected and ready.
Even
ready
here
to
it's
attack.
like
if you're just here, a lot of times I'll roll with guys in the gym
Knee
and
cut.
they'll just be right back, and
Knee
it
cut.
just sets right up into this, right into my back steps. We talked about.
So I like to see you.
So these are the real common things that are happening, right? Over and over and over. These are what's going on. So this is so much harder for me to deal with. Is that
If you don't threaten wrestle ups, then you don't have a CD guard anymore. Yeah. Rotate out of that straight ankle. Play some CD guard stuff. Take your time with it. Forget my notebook. We got to work on this stuff too. Just gonna say, thank you guys so much for coming. It's a great group. We're gonna hook it up again for part 2. And honestly, I might back up. It really won't overlap much, just a little. So I'll have part 1 on my YouTube channel, Toe Hold You. Toe Hold YOU is my YouTube channel. I might have some really based weird content on there, but mainly look at the seminars. All right, look at the jiu-jitsu seminars, not just me saying random shit. And the next one, lots of outside heel hooks. I didn't get to 50-50, so I'll put that in there too. A lot of the defensive strategies of matching head level and hand fighting, that's going to stay in this one. So you can watch that first one if you did or didn't attend this one, and then you can come to that one. It might even be a 3-parter. I'm going to talk to Vic in a little bit, but I might even be popping in here like on some Tuesday evenings, because I just love the vibe here. So I might be popping on some Tuesday evenings and teach a few classes too for you guys. So that's Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Let's get our feet together.